It felt like kidnapping, having plainclothes agents follow me into the lobby of my building. As you would expect, the food was as close as could be to inedible. All of them were brought from the court. Literally, someone was in his court.
We have another CNN interview with Mahmoud Khalil to jump into. The legal resident who was wrongfully detained by ICE and then held for over 3 months, so long that he missed the birth of his first child. So leave us a like on the video if you can. It lets us know you enjoy the content. It gets us out there in the algorithm. And let's see what facts we can add to the conversation.
It felt like kidnapping, having plainclothes agents follow me into the lobby of my building, a private space, threatening my wife with arrest if she wouldn't separate from me, refusing to answer any questions I have, refusing to produce a warrant arrest, and basically like saying all the wrong things, like that I have a student visa. They did not believe that I am a green card holder. So it literally felt like kidnapping, extrajudicial targeting. And for the next 24 or 30 hours, I was literally moved from one place to another like an object. So they took me to an office in New York, then in New Jersey, to Texas, then to Louisiana, which is literally 1,400 miles away from New York.
And as you can see there, he was detained for 104 days, over 3 months. We covered the other day a Palestinian woman, Ward, who was detained coming back from her honeymoon for 140 days. It's a pattern of cruel and inhumane punishment on foreigners. It seems targeted specifically towards Arab foreigners, where Mahmoud was a legal resident. The agents didn't even know that. They thought he was a student visa, so they didn't even know their facts. He wasn't accused of a crime when he was grabbed. It was beliefs and associations. There, however, were no reports or complaints of wrongdoing, harassment, anti-Semitism, nothing of the sort at Columbia University that would lead you to believe he was doing, supporting Hamas and all of this like they were claimed later that he was doing. Literally nothing to believe that any of this was deserved, but this is Donald Trump's America. This is what each and every MAGA supporter wants foreigners to be treated like, stripped of their rights and their humanity. It's party of evangelical religious people, right, and godly values, but it can't go without stating, Mahmoud is one of the few who is lucky enough to not be sent to a foreign gulag or lose his life.
President Trump on Truth Social called you, quote, a radical, foreign, pro-Hamas student. His spokeswoman, Carolyn Levitt, said that you were, quote, siding with terrorists. Why do you think they said that about you? And as we described when we introduced you, you were one of the student protest leaders in this very fraught situation of the war between Israel and Gaza on Columbia University campus. What did you think when they said that about you?
It's absurd. It's basically to intimidate me. They want to conflate any speech for the right of Palestinians with a speech that's supporting terrorism, which is totally wrong. The protests were peaceful. We're asking a simple ask to stop Columbia University and the U.S. complicity in the genocide that's happening in Gaza. And that's why I see these accusations as intimidation.
That is exactly what they are, intimidation, where, again, this is the party of free speech, weaponizing speech they don't like to try and crush dissent. Essentially, it's because Republicans are the pro-war party. You know, they want U.S. troops to go and help Netanyahu essentially ethnically cleanse Palestinians. They help them bomb Iran, did so preemptively. And Mahmoud Khalil was a critic of this power imbalance and the atrocities that were being committed. So they wanted to silence not just him specifically, but to use him as a martyr or a signal that this type of speech isn't to be allowed. And they did so without criminal accusation. That's how determined they were. It's un-American, it's undemocratic, it's an assault on what we stand for as a country, for this top-down sort of fascistic attempt to crush anyone who speaks out against the regime. I mean, how many Democrats has it been now, right? There's been a judge now, right? Mahmoud Khalil and others who were just protesting. This is what we all warned about happening right now.
On the inside, as as you would expect, the food was as close as could be to inedible. I had to switch to vegetarian because the meat was. I threw up like after I ate the meat there. It was so cold. We had to ask for more blankets, but no one would answer our requests. A lot of people inside, like they don't know their rights. They're not allowed to question like ICE about like why you brought me here, because a lot of them were brought from the court. Literally, someone was in his court defending his case, asylum case, and was taken into custody from court. So there's a lot of dehumanization. The Trump administration is trying to paint all these like undocumented people as criminals. However, it's the opposite.
And again, should be stated, these are conditions that he's experiencing for no reason. Never should have. No formal complaints at Columbia, no criminal charges, simply targeted for probably his ethnicity and his speech and held for over 3 months. And he's not the only one. As he mentioned, people taken from asylum hearings. We covered Ward coming back from her honeymoon. Remember the claim that it was just do it the right way? Now it's like, what's the right way? Be a white European, it seems. But this is sickening to hear, and I hate that it continuously plays out to be worse and worse. Like every story seemingly trumps the last as more people have their rights violated, and these actions are only escalated as the administration is emboldened through their actions being allowed. It just calls into question what's next, because fascism typically meets an explosive end one way or the other. And I just hope that we come out with our democracy still intact.